Hey there! Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Restore Previous Settings feature on the WiiM Ultra. Have you heard about this gem of a feature added earlier this year? I briefly mentioned it in a previous video, so some of you might remember it. With this feature, you can recover most of your previous configurations, even if you factory reset your WiiM device. I've tested which WiiM devices support this, and exactly what settings get restored. So let's share that right here. And make sure to stick around until the end of the video, because I have a very important announcement regarding this feature. Let's get right into it.
Step 1. What is Restore Previous Settings? This is a new feature that allows you to restore various settings when resetting your WiiM device. Since we still can't find official documentation for it, many of you might not even know it exists. From my testing, this feature has been added to the WiiM Ultra, WiiM Sound, and WiiM Amp. Unfortunately, the WiiM Mini doesn't have this feature yet. Based on these findings, it's highly likely that this feature is already available on all WiiM devices except the Mini. Step 2. Restoring Previous Settings. Currently, you can only restore settings when performing a factory reset on the device, so let's look at exactly how to do it. I actually reset my Ultra to see what changes before and after the reset. First, tap Restore Factory Settings on the Ultra's device info screen to reset the device. After waiting a bit and restarting the WiiM app, the Ultra's card appears like this, and it enters setup mode. So far, it's business as usual. But then a dialog pops up asking, Restore Previous Settings? If you tap Restore, the setup completes while keeping your previous settings intact. It took about a minute to finish the setup, but as you can see, my Ultra was successfully reset while maintaining theatre mode. If you select Cancel on that dialog screen, it proceeds to the normal setup mode, and no settings are restored. But don't worry if you press Cancel by mistake. Rest assured, a Restore Previous Settings section will appear on the device info screen, and you can restore from here at any time. Let's double check the key points. 1. You can only restore settings upon resetting. 2. Even if you cancel the restore during the reset, you can still do it later. 3. If you do restore during the reset, the Restore Previous Settings section will not appear on the device info screen. Now let's take a closer look at exactly what data can be restored. Step 3. Restorable Setting Data. Let's start by checking the Favorites tab. The left side is the WiiM app screen before the reset, and the right side is after. My presets were restored perfectly. Recently played items remain unchanged, since they are essentially data saved in the WiiM app, but even the device's input switching history is preserved. Next up is the Browse screen. The Source Input section is completely restored. Hidden inputs, source names, and pre-gain settings are all maintained. Since your My Library data is saved locally on the WiiM app, it doesn't disappear. It looks like all the music services are restored too. My accounts, like YouTube Music, stayed logged in. The URLs registered in Open Network Stream didn't vanish either. I'm guessing this is also data saved within the WiiM app. Under Voice and Streaming, both Amazon Alexa and Google Cast kept their logged-in status. Next, let's move on to device settings. The custom device name I set before the reset has been restored. My custom test profiles are showing up for both EQ and Roomfit. Looking at the EQ screen, you can see the custom EQ profile is right there. The Roomfit profile was also safely recovered, and it's even still toggled on. In the Source Input screen, every single item is restored, flawless. On the Audio Output screen, the line out level and DAC digital filter type came back, but the Bluetooth pairing info was wiped. In the Device Info screen, the audio prompt language is restored. Auto Update, which I had turned off, is still off, no issues there. For the Network Status screen, my static IP setting was recovered. However, 5 GHz only had switched itself back to on. Now jumping back to device settings for a moment, the standby mode value was restored, but the WiiM remote got unpaired. The home theater mode setting was kept intact. Just like persistent groups, this data might be saved somewhere else. The voice and streaming and hardware sections are completely restored. Next is the screen setting. Everything here is back to normal too. The standby wallpaper was still set to my favorite candy pop clock. The black VU meter on the playback screen was also maintained. My alarms were still there, and just like I mentioned earlier, the presets are perfectly restored. In audio settings, every single item is perfectly restored. The group audio delay setting hasn't changed at all. The sync audio values are also fully recovered. Amazing. Next, let's look at sub-out. I really wanted this to be restored. Thank goodness everything is back to normal. The sync subwoofer and speaker values are also restored. As mentioned earlier, the voice and streaming and hardware sections are fully restored. Alexa, Google Cast, and Squeezelight are all enabled. More streaming services also restored with everything kept enabled. In the 12-volt trigger settings, trigger handling during reboot was also still on. Finally, let's wrap up by checking the global search menu. As you can see, the search history is still there. This makes sense since it's data saved locally on the WiiM app. If my testing holds up, the Restore Previous Settings on the WiiM Ultra backs up and restores almost everything except WiiM Remote and Bluetooth pairing info. This feature gives you total peace of mind if your device ever acts up and needs a reset. Step 4. Before giving away your WiiM device. With the addition of the Restore Previous Settings feature, we now know that backup data remains even after a reset. If you ever decide to hand your WiiM device over to someone else, you'll probably want to completely wipe this backup data. So I looked into how to permanently erase it. The short answer is, you can't explicitly delete it right now. If you reset without restoring, a backup is always kept. Therefore, to scrub your streaming service login info from the backup, you either need to reset twice or manually log out of every service before resetting. I'll just show you the double reset method here. 1. Go to Device Info, tap Restore Factory Settings and reset your device. 2. Wait about a minute, restart the WiiM app and enter Setup mode. When the Restore Previous Settings dialog appears, tap Cancel and proceed with a normal reset. 3. During setup, only connect to Wi-Fi and skip everything else. 4. Tap the gear icon on the device card to go to Device Info and confirm that a new backup has been created. 5. Repeat steps 1 through 3 one more time. Now, even if someone restores from the backup, it will revert to a state where all services are logged out. Now, what worried me when I discovered this feature was the fact that WiiM restores the login status for streaming services. So I decided to run a test. I have 2 different network lines from separate providers at home. Network A is for private use, and Network B is for work. Since I had never connected a WiiM device to Network B before, I used a smartphone without the WiiM app installed to set it up. Right at the start of the setup, the Restore Previous Settings dialog popped up. When I went ahead and restored it, just as I suspected, YouTube Music and Alexa remained logged in, even in this completely new environment. This made me really worried, so I submitted a ticket to the support team. Surprisingly, they replied in just 20 minutes. Here is what I asked. Basically, I wanted to know if this feature backs up login credentials to the device and whether we need to log out of all services before doing a reset. And here is their reply. It turns out, yes, the backup does include your streaming service login states. But I also uncovered a new fact. This backup automatically expires and deletes itself after 1 week. Looking closely at the app, it does say, available until July 23rd, 2026, 16:45. However, the date shown is the date the backup was created. I find this notation very confusing. I think this phrasing is super confusing. If it simply said, this backup will expire in 7 days, I wouldn't have been confused at all. So the takeaway here is, if you are planning to give away or sell your WiiM device, your best bet is to reset it and then wait 7 days before handing it over. On a personal note to the WiiM team, it would be fantastic if you could add a way to manually delete backup data and create manual backups. Also, it would be amazing if we could import and export EQ and Roomfit profiles separately.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the best music experience. See you next time. Peace.